But he mentioned something that you said earlier about how in Daniel 9 there was some type of killing going on. Like, what did he say?
He said there was 10 martyrs.
10 martyrs?
The 10 martyrs, that's not Daniel. That was during the Roman times.
10 martyrs during the Roman time?
Yeah, the 10 martyrs.
I mean, can you give me a backstory on that? Because I haven't read that.
I would say,
Yeah, the
if
Romans.
anything, I would say it was during the Hellenization period under the Greeks.
The Maccabees, yeah.
Because we see 7 brothers getting killed, and we see
The Maccabees, all the Maccabees.
Judah Maccabeus and his brothers getting killed. I'm not
Yeah.
saying 10 martyrs right there, because we have 7 brothers in one chapter, and then we have the Maccabees.
Yeah, the 3 brothers.
That's 10 right there. I don't understand how you guys will go and say that's during the Roman occupation when I see 10 martyrs under the Hellenized period.
Yeah, where's that? Hold on, what was you saying?
Because I had actually went into Daniel 9 and I was saying, okay, Daniel gives a specific timeline of when this person is going to come and be cut off to the nation. You said, correct me if I'm wrong, you said that leads up to the 10 martyrs. That's who you would put as being cut off for the nation.
No. That leads up to
I don't know if he's...
I'm not trying to be technical.
What's the 10 martyrs about?
10
Talk
martyrs
about the Romans.
during the Roman
What is
times.
that? Is that in the Tanakh, or is that?
No, it's not in the time. It's after it's not. It's during, it happened during the time of the Romans.
Where can I read about that?
It's in a lot of...
Do you guys subscribe to the Maccabees? First and second Maccabees?
A lot of you read these texts. There's texts that they're not in the Tanakh. People still have these texts. They read them. They have them in their libraries.
Well, I'm just saying, do you subscribe to it, like amongst Judaism? Because that's history, right?
Yeah, like it would be something that's read as a historical.
Yeah, of course. We believe it's history.
Yeah.
So you subscribe to it, right?
I would read it. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Okay, great. That's all we're saying. We subscribe to it, of course. It's actually right in this book. You don't subscribe to the New Testament, but we're not talking about the New Testament. We're talking about the history aspect. There's history in the Tanakh. That's not necessarily, I don't want to say God read, that's what Christians say, but it's just historical references. What happens to the children of Israel? What's you gonna get?
Daniel 9:26, right? So this is out of JPS in 1985. After those 62 weeks, the anointed one would disappear and vanish. The army of a leader who was to come would destroy the city and the sanctuary. But its end will come through a flood. Desolation is decreed until the end of the war.
When did that happen?
The end of
End of the war.
So the army of a leader who is to come will destroy the city, Jerusalem, and the sanctuary, the temple. But its end will come through a flood. Desolation is decreed until the end of the war.
When did that happen? Talking about the temple. The temple was destroyed. When was the temple destroyed?
Yeah, so it could have been the first temple or the second temple, but then not get the
Well, no, this is the second temple. This is the second temple for sure. Because Daniel's writing this in Babylon.
Yeah, I don't know about a flood.
Well, it's symbolic of armies.
Because remember it's saying that army, so let's go back to that. The context of that is the army of a leader who is to come, Titus,
Exactly. This is Daniel writing in 500 BC. 600 BC.
will destroy the city, Jerusalem, and the sanctuary, the temple, but its end will come through a flood. Desolation is decreed until the end of the war.
Yeah, what war is it talking about? And this happened during the second period,
God,
right?
I wish I brought my art strip, my stone tradition.
Because this is after the temple was destroyed by Babylon. He's writing it in Babylon. So it's some of the second temple, right?
King that's to come. king that doesn't exist is coming Daniel.
He's probably talking about Titus.
But so let's read it in the KJV and let's see what it says.
This is Daniel 90:26. And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off.
The Messiah is supposed to be around the same time period, right or wrong. That's what it says. The Messiah was around during the Second Temple.
Now, Mashiach can refer to a lot of different people.
Okay, keep reading.
Because when there was a war, they used to Mashiach the priest. So a lot of people get
That's great.
Mashiach to that.
But this is a different Mashiach. Read.
And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for
He's
himself.
going to die for the nation of Israel. That's this Mashiach is doing. Read.
And the people of the prince that shall come
So the same prince and king that shall come, read.
shall destroy the city and
Same thing it says. Read.
and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood, and unto the end of the war desolations are determined.
So the Messiah, the Mashiach, is going to die for the nation of Israel around the time of the Romans destroying the temple. Who was the Mashiach at that time?
Yeah, I don't think that I would have to read Sefer Daniel.
Sefer?
Yeah.
I know the Sefer book, but we just read it in the JPS.
Yeah, I would have to sit down and read it, get a good understanding of it. But you know, Mashiach, like a lot of people get Mashiach. Like, it's not a
Mashiach died for somebody else.
Died for the nation.
He died for somebody.
yeah, that could be referring to anyone without the doctrine that died. That could be one
Okay.
of
So
the
can you die for somebody else?
I'm not planning on dying.
I'm just saying that's what it says in the text. One person can die.
A little bit too much, like, human sacrifice things going on.
Human sacrifice?
Like, sacrificing a human for something, like, all that stuff. I don't know.
But is that what it says? The Mashiach is going to die for the nation. That's what it says.
Yeah, so there's nothing in our tradition that says that you can use a human to atone for...
That's what the Torah says, or Tanakh says. Give me that Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah and couple that with Daniel. And give me Isaiah 22. Give me that. Isaiah 6 or 53. It says the same thing Isaiah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
but
I
like,
got some historical facts on Isaiah 53 too.
What was you gonna say?
yeah, but there's nothing in our tradition that says you can like sacrifice a human for atonement.
Let's just read.
Great.
Let's just read.
So at one point, do you understand that Maimonides actually believed that Messiah can actually atone for people's sins? You understand that, right? Until Rashi came about and changed their understanding. I got historical facts on that too.
Isaiah 53.
Okay, let's go to Isaiah 53.
You mean like the way we used to like sacrifice a goat, like a sin offering?
Not us actually killing, you know what I'm saying? The priests actually doing that. We're talking about an understanding about how we, our ancestors or whoever looked at Isaiah 53 until Rashi came about and changed their understanding, right? So let's go to Isaiah 53 first. Where's it at? Isaiah 53.
Start at the top.
All right. Isaiah 53. Who had believed our report? To whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of the dry ground. He hath no form nor comeliness.
Read.
When he shall see him, there is no beauty that we shall desire him.
Is this an individual or who's this talking about?
This prophecy. The thing with the prophecies is that they are so dense.
Vince.
You really have to like unpack them.
We're unpacking it as we go.
And then you for sure got to read it in Hebrew. Because there's stuff going on in Hebrew that's just completely.
So you think the translations is...
The translations are just not like.
Okay, let's just read it.
He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows, and acquainted with grief. And we hid as it were our faces from him. He was despised and we esteemed him not.
Because usually people in Judaism are what we would call an Old Testament only Israelite. We say it's talking about the nation of Israel. But we can debunk that. Read.
surely he hath borne our griefs
Whoever this person is, born the griefs of Israel. Read.
and carried our sorrows.
Uh-huh.
Yet we did esteem him stricken,
Read.
smitten of God, and afflicted.
Wait a minute. Smitten of who?
Smitten of God and
And we
afflicted.
read last week, we said to smite somebody is to kill them. So the Most High allowed this person to be killed. Read.
But he was wounded for our transgressions.
Wait a minute. Somebody was wounded for the transgressions of the Israelites. The same thing Daniel says. Read.
He was bruised for our iniquity.
For our sins. This guy was beat up and killed for it. Read.
The chastisement of our peace was upon him.
Read.
And with his stripes we are healed.
When he died, our nation was redeemed. Pretty much. Read.
All we, like sheep, have gone astray.
Uh-huh.
We have turned every one to his own way.
Go ahead.
And the Most High hath laid on him the iniquity of us all.
The Most High laid upon this person the iniquity of the Israelites, the sin of the Israelites. That's what it says. You can go to the Hebrew and try to get around it, but it's going to say the same thing. Read.
He was oppressed. He was afflicted.
Uh-huh.
Yet he opened not his mouth.
Read.
He was brought as a lamb to slaughter,
Like a sacrifice. Read.
as a sheep before his shearers is dumb.
Uh-huh.
So he opened not his mouth.
Read on.
He was taken from prison
Uh-huh.
and from judgment.
Go ahead.
And who shall declare his
Who's
generation?
going to declare his generation? Read.
For he was cut off of the land of the
He
living.
was killed. Read.
For the transgression of my people,
For what?
he was stricken.
For what?
For the transgression of my
He
people.
was killed for the sins of Israel. It says it right there. You can't get around it. Read.
And he made his grave with the wicked
Uh-huh.
and with the rich in his death,
Go ahead.
because he had done no violence.
Go ahead.
No,
So
he
it
had
can't be
done
talking about the Israelites.
no violence.
No violence or what?
Neither was any deceit in his mouth.
That's talking about the Mashiach. That's what it says.
Now watch this. So this is according to Genesis Rabbi Moshe Hadashan says that God enabled the Messiah to save souls, but that together with that, he would suffer greatly. Also, Maimonides relates Isaiah 53 to the Messiah in his epistle to Yemen. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai wrote, in Yemen, and Messiah of Ephraim died there, and Israel mourns for him, as it is written, he is despised and rejected of men.
We just read in Isaiah 53.
So what was happening at this time, that the Jews and the children of Israel in Yemen, right, wrote a letter to Maimonides, telling them about the oppression and the forced conversions of Islam that was happening in Yemen. But they also wrote about this guy, and they thought that was the Messiah, and related it to Isaiah 53 for some reason, right? Watch this.
Yeah, but like we don't like. I mean, I guess there's a couple issues. Number one is like Hashem's oneness. Like we don't believe, like that's our core principle that Hashem is one.
That's what we
There's no
believe.
others.
We're not Christians. We don't
We don't
believe like
Jesus is
Christians.
God.
We don't believe in the Trinity. We don't believe in
We don't
none of that
believe in
garbage.
Yeah, and then the second component is we don't think that Jesus was Mashiach because he didn't fulfill prophecies.
Of course he
Basically,
did.
Mashiach is supposed to return us to the land and rebuild the
It
temple.
says he's supposed to die too. We just read it.
There are some traditions that we have about Mashiach ben Yosef dying.
That's not what we read in Daniel. We read it in Daniel and Isaiah 53.
Yeah, so
It can't be talking about Joseph.
so normally whenever you hear anything about like Mashiach might die, they're talking about Mashiach ben Yosef.
Sir, that's not what Daniel's talking about. That's not what Isaiah is talking about. Isaiah is talking about Joseph?
No, Mashiach ben Yosef. So it's
Who?
the Mashiach.
Who's that?
Like the center of Yosef.
I mean, everybody's a descendant of Joseph here in his life.
No, I'm not.
Who's the descendant of Joseph? Oh, hold on, Joseph in Egypt?
Yeah. So Mashiach ben Yosef.
Sir, what? Wait a minute, who did Joseph have in Egypt? Who were his children?
Ephraim and Manasseh.
So the Messiah is coming from.
So there's Mashiach ben Yosef and Mashiach ben David.
So Daniel and Isaiah is talking about somebody that lived
so normally-
1,000 years before he was alive.
No, Mashiach ben Yosef just means he's a long
Son of Joseph.
Yeah. Yeah, so whenever...
Is there a Joseph in the first century?
No, this is Joseph.
Who?
Joseph, son of Jacob. So whenever
Sir, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You just said when it's talking about a Mashiach dying,
Yeah.
it's talking about him.
He's not been like direct son, been like descendant.
You're saying he's the son of Joseph.
Yeah.
He only had Ephraim and Manasseh.
So what?
Sir, you're trying to say...
He's the son of
Sir,
Joseph, like a descendant.
You're telling me that the Mashiach is from his lineage, right?
There's Mashiach ben Yosef and there's also Mashiach ben David.
So who's Isaiah talking about? Now, who's Daniel talking about?
Yeah, so whenever...
Who's the Mashiach and Daniel that Daniel's
Yes.
prophesying about
So
that's going to die in the second temple?
Any tradition I have heard about Mashiach dying has always been about Mashiach
That's
ben
not what I'm
Yosef.
talking about. I'm asking about Daniel. Who's the Mashiach that's going to die during the war before the second temple is destroyed?
Yeah, so any tradition that I have heard about Mashiach dying has always been about Mashiach ben Yosef, and not
Daniel's
about...
talking about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As far as what Daniel was talking about, if he made a statement about Mashiach dying in his prophecy, any tradition or learning that I've had about him, whenever it comes up that Mashiach might die, that's referring to Mashiach ben Yosef.
Then it has to fall into his time frame that he's
Not
prophesying
Mashiach ben
about.
David.
Then he has to fall into the time frame that he's talking about in Daniel.
So either way, he had to die during
Yeah,
the second temple before the second temple. Right or wrong?
No, not necessarily.
But that's what he's talking about.
What the-
whoever the Mashiach is during that prophecy is supposed to die before the second temple is destroyed.
Yeah, but what that prophecy, what that text actually means, in order to understand this world, like these are not like simple things.
But you're
And
telling me every time it talks about it is referring to a son of Joseph in Egypt that only had Manasseh and Ephraim.
It's Ben
That's
Yosef.
ridiculous.
No, it's a Ben Yosef. So
Exactly, it's son of Joseph.
yeah, but it could be anyone who is Ben Yosef.
Sir. You just told me that he's the son of Israel, right? Joseph is the son of Israel.
Right, but Ben just means like descendant.
I know that.
Yeah,
So you're saying any of the 12 tribes is the son of Joseph?
no. Just
Exactly. So what are you talking about?
so it's just so we have to be someone who's a
Son of
descendant
Ephraim and Manasseh.
Yeah, descendant of the tribe
That's why
of
this
Manasseh.
is You said no.
Yeah,
You
it could
said
be-
no.
Yeah, but it's not like they're like direct son. They're like
Sir, they have to be.
no, it would be
If
like
you're the son
they're-
of Joseph, you're the son of Joseph, period.
Yeah,
It
it
doesn't
could be a
change.
very long term.
And his two sons were Ephraim and Manasseh. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
So they're one of the children are the Messiah. Every one of their children, pretty much.
No,
One of their children.
No, there's a particular descendant of Yosef,
I already know that.
and we call this.
So who from the Northern Kingdom from the son of Joseph died as a Mashiach?
So there's a lot of different traditions and debates about Mashiach ben Yosef. Some people say that Mashiach ben Yosef is not a person; it's like a time period.
Sir. Somebody died in Daniel. Who is it?
Honestly, I would need to sit down and
Great.
analyze that.
Because you're contradicting yourself. You're switching up the logic. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up with the time. That's the point. This person's supposed to die around the time the temple's destroyed.
But the thing is with the
70
prophecies,
AD.
there's a lot
First
going
century.
on. Sometimes they're describing things that
Of course there's a lot
are really
going on,
hard
but-
to understand. And so
I realize that.
When
You're
we're-
learning people that don't understand.
yeah, but
That's what you're telling
when
me.
we're trying to understand these things and interpret them, like I think like there has to be like we have to be super sensitive to like nuance because that stuff matters.
What about the verbatim time
But
that
like
describes what's going to happen?
you guys read it in English, like
Sir.
I would have to sit down and read it in Hebrew.
You're going to read the same thing in Hebrew. You're going to read the same
It's never
thing.
the same.
No,
Never the same.
let's go back to my point because until Rashi's interpretation, everybody understood Isaiah 53 talking about
We're talking about
person.
Daniel. But the Messiah
okay,
dying
all right.
before the war.
All right, because Isaiah 53 talks about him
Yeah,
dying.
exactly. It's the same thing. So you're saying the son of Joseph is going to die in Daniel and Isaiah 53?
Yeah, so if those prophecies are referring to Mashiach ben Yosef, like it's a common thing that comes up, Mashiach ben Yosef.
How do we know that though? It doesn't mention his name.
How do we know that that's referring to Mashiach ben
Yeah.
Yosef?
It doesn't mention
I'm not
anybody's
saying
name.
that I know that. I would have to
And
read the text.
why is it only strict to them?
Why is it only Mashiach ben Yosef?
Yeah, why is it only
Because we
strict to them?
don't have a tradition that says Mashiach ben David. I mean, there are some, but like it's generally you won't hear as much about that.
But where does it say Joseph's sons are going to die anywhere?
It's not just Joseph's son. It's like a particular. It's like basically a Mashiach from Joseph's line.
I know, but where is that mentioned that in Torah?
Like what's the textual
Or
source?
Tanakh? Yeah, where's that at? Where's the first? Is it in Torah at all?
could do some research and try to find the first like, sources.
Yeah, show me that anywhere. Don't go to no Midrash or Talmud. Go to the Tanakh.
Yeah, but it's like any
and show me where it's prophesied that a son of Joseph is going to die
like we can appoint a king
as a Mashiach.
Yeah, but we can appoint a king from one of the other tribes.
No, you can't.
We can.
No, you, bro. No, you can't.
There's certain things they
The
can't do.
only king of Israel is from the seed of David. Period.
So this is the thing. We can appoint the king.
Now you're going. Give me Psalm
There's
89.
There's
Excuse me?
limitations. Yeah, they can't do things that the Judaism can do. So it doesn't mean
What are
they're
you
not.
talking about?
So there's no rule.
Where's it at in Tanakh? Where's it at?
That
You can choose any king. That's ridiculous.
in Tanakh,
Give me
Tanakh,
Ezekiel, what's it, 30?
yeah, so in Tanakh, there's a mitzvah to anoint the king.
Sir, that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, so
Do
there's
not go to any of those books. Go to the Tanakh.
Yeah, but
We don't want to learn from no rabbi that came centuries later.
right,
That's
but
ridiculous.
the mitzvah to appoint a king doesn't specifically state that it has to be
What does the Tanakh say? What does the Tanakh say?
a Ben-David king.
What does the Tanakh say?
The Tanakh doesn't specify the laws about.
It doesn't.
No, it just has the one law saying to do it. That's the Torah law.
What do you mean? No. I'm going to go to the prophecy. This is your problem.
Yeah, the prophecies do clearly state that like David has the eternal kingship, but that doesn't mean that you can appoint him from another tribe.
Is there a king in Israel right now?
Yeah, I mean, like I think that different Israelites know which families they're from, so it's not like there's an empty seat.
Excuse me?
There's no empty seat.
You know what I want?
The seat isn't empty.
The seat's not empty in Israel?
No, it's
So there's a king over there right now.
not in Israel, but
Huh? A king of Israel isn't ruling in Israel?
he's not in Israel.
Where is he?
So
What?
yeah, I mean like
What?
So that's the thing. When exile happened, it's not like they usually the royals didn't have a plan for like plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D.
Where's he at?
Plan S.
Who's the king of Israel right now? Why is Netanyahu in Israel and the king's not?
Yeah, so some
That doesn't make
people-
sense.
So there's a tradition that there's a secret Jewish kingdom behind the river Sambation. A lot of people say it's in Africa.
Why wouldn't he be reigning in Israel with Netanyahu? With all that military power?
Maybe they're not ready yet.
That's stupid. Read
They're
that.
not ready.
That is just stupid.
It sounds stupid, but if they're not actually
Because
ready yet,
it's not in the Bible. That's ridiculous. There is no kingdom right now because those aren't the real Jews. Netanyahu is the prime. Is it a prime minister or what is he over there?
Yeah, it's not.
Is he a prime minister?
Netanyahu's the prime minister.
He's
they're-
reigning over
they're-
the Holy Land. That's crazy.
Yeah,
You know what I went?
that's
Give me
part
that.
of what the protests are about, though, right? Like the
Then give me
people-
Psalm 89.
The people
Psalm
are ready.
89.
The people are ready for Mashiach. They're waiting for Mashiach.
Right.
But there's some.
They're gonna get
things
destroyed
away.
out of that place before these shots. Give me what I want.
Jeremiah 33.
Psalm 89. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 33 and 21. It says, then may also, I'll start at 20. Thus said the Lord, if you can
This says
break,
who?
thus said the Lord,
Hashem, read.
if you can break my covenant of the day
Uh-huh.
and my covenant of the night,
If you can maneuver the sun and moon, read.
and that there should not be day and night in their season, then may also my covenant be broken with David my servant,
Read.
that he should not have a son to reign upon his throne, and with the Levites, the priests, my ministers.
So Hashem said, if you can break the covenant of the sun and the moon, you can break my covenant with David to have a king on the seat of Israel. No other tribe, no other lineage besides David can sit on the throne. That's what Hashem said. Do you believe that?
So it's really like a temporary emergency there.
Sir,
No,
do you believe the
serious.
prophecy?
Yeah, this is correct. But what
So you're
I'm,
saying we can elect any other king right now?
no, what I'm explaining, and this is an important issue, and this is the subject that has to be.
It's either or. It's either what you're saying is right or the not.
It's sensitive when there are active power structures going on. According to the halakha, the people can appoint and anoint the king that kingship, is recognized that it is a temporary thing, and the most familiar thing for Westerners is probably going to be where, like, the Romans would appoint a temporary dictator because there was someone threatening to invade the
That's not
city.
what we're talking about.
So, but
We're
the
not talking
king,
about any foreign kings sitting on
right? But
the throne.
the
Of course, that's not the kingdom
appointment,
at that time.
right? But the appointment of a king from another tribe will have to be recognized as something that's temporary, and then there are legal limitations, and you can read it in the laws of kings and wars.
You have that book?
I read it online.
Wait a minute. What's that site?
Yeah, in the laws of kings.
Is it
and
written in
wars.
Hebrew?
Yeah.
I would need to see
Who's the
that.
author?
My audience. Yes, laws of kings and wars.
Can you give me the site? Can you give me the site?
Appoint a king from.
Can you give me the site real quick so I can look it up?
You can find it in SICARII.
Oh, Safari?
Yeah, Wars and Kings.
Oh, I have that.
Yeah, it's a part of
I have
Michigan.
that app.
It's part of Michigan Torah.
So who wrote it, you said?
My aunt.
Maimonides?
Yeah. So you
And
can,
when did he live?
I just had that.
yeah. So the problem is like, for example, they have to recognize that this is like a temporary kingship, meaning they can be appointed to fight wars, to fight.
So
the
somebody's
other
ruling, a king of Israel is in Africa somewhere, ruling as a king of Israel in secret and hiding out. Like, is that what you're doing?
Are you
No,
telling me
so
that they're able to actually anoint him as King the Melech or just a prince or a
They can
ruler?
appoint a king.
Ooh,
They can. Now, should they? That's another question. Because historically, what's happened when these people ended up in these positions of power, they did not respect the fact that they were not Ben David, and they wanted to retain power. So,
sir. When in history that happened?
the Hashmoneans.
'Cause I know about the Hasmoneans, but any other time?
Is there an example of?
Yeah.
So there are. It's a little bit complicated. I mean, it's not over all.
They
of
were in Israel, though.
Yeah, over
They were in
all of
Israel.
Yeah, over all of Israel unified. No.
I don't care what it was.
Over
The
parts of.
Hasmoneans, the Northern Kingdom wasn't in the Hasmonean dynasty.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go because I don't do the like recording.
You're not on camera.
Yeah, but it's like it's like not.
Sir, you've been here for about an hour and a half still. Like you did this last time. You were here for like 3 hours. I just edited the video too, so I would put it up. I don't know when, but you're not on camera during that dialogue. But this is the thing. You're making this. You know what I want? Psalms 89. Yeah. Start at
I got it.
Yeah, it's just like these other kings.
20,
Like
go down
it's like a
to,
temporary kingship, like to fight a war or something like that.
35 or 30.
But, yeah. When
34.
when Ben David shows up, they got to move out the way. They know that.
Psalms 89, verse 20. I have found David my servant. With my holy oil have I anointed him.
Most High anointed David. Read on.
Verse 34. My covenant will I not break,
I said read.
nor alter the thing that is gone out of my lips.
So, no matter what you're talking about, let's just say that's true that they anointed some random king in Africa. Where'd you say is that? What river?
Yeah, but
What rivers is that?
the ones in Africa are Ben David. They're
Where?
They're Judaism.
Can you tell me where? What tribe? What country? What tribe? Because you named the river earlier. Where's that at?
Yeah, they're spread out around different parts of West Africa. But it's not.
Where, sir? Where's the kingdom of Israel in West
Yeah,
Africa?
so are you talking about the secret kingdom? Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's a tradition that there's a secret kingdom behind the river Sambatio.
Where's that at?
We don't know because it's behind this mystical river. It's like a mystical river that only stops on Shabbat.
So how's it a secret? What? Read.
Verse 35. Once I have sworn by my holiness that I will not lie unto David, his seed shall endure forever,
Read on.
and his throne as the sun before me.
David's seed is going to be on the throne forever. So even though we know in the Hasmonean dynasty, we know that they pointed, I think it was Benjamites and Levites, I think. That wasn't necessarily authorized, but at that time we were, they were going against the Greeks.
It was emergency powers.
Sure, that's not a problem, but we know David's seed is the only people that are going to reign on the throne. So that shadow kingdom and wait a minute, so where are the people at? You said the kingdom only shows up during Shabbat?
Yeah, so the
midst of
river
like,
rests on Shabbat. Yeah, that's the.
So so the kingdom's not, is the kingdom like showing up at the same time, or are they there, or just?
It's on the other side of the river. you have to get across.
So does
the
river move? Like, I mean, that's what I'm asking. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's a mystical.
Where is this at? Where is this written?
It's a tradition. It's like a tradition.
Where is it written?
Where is it written? It's probably referenced in a lot of texts. But it's like Jews know. It's like there's a secret kingdom, and
Is that just oral tradition? That's just somebody just said?
it's just things people know. You know.
I'm asking. 'Cause this is new to me. I've been trying to learn. People just know. Just like you know your lineage from Mount Sinai, which is not true. That's ridiculous, sir. You see how crazy you sound right now? Do you realize what you're telling us?
I know my family because.
Well, we talked about your family last time, so that's fine. I'm talking about this tradition that you're following that isn't authentic. It's not in Tanakh. It's not in Torah. There's no historical references on it.
Yeah, but I've been to West Africa. Like.
That's fine. Have you seen the Mystical River?
Yeah, I mean, like,
You
I
have.
would guess.
You've been to the
I
Kingdom
would
of
guess
Israel.
it's kind of like you gotta be like Indiana Jones, and you gotta be like you gotta have the right heart to get it.
Did you get there? Did you find it? Did you find the crystal skull? Did you find it? Did you visit the Kingdom of Israel in West Africa? Yes or no? You're not allowed to lie to me. You know that, right? You can't lie to an Israelite. I'm an Israelite. Have you been to the Secret Kingdom? Have you been there?
Who knows where it is?
Sir,
You know,
have you
it's
been
not,
there, sir?
God dang.
Have you been there? Have you been there?
Yay or nay? God.
Have you been there? Yes or no?
I've been to a lot of places.
Now you're dealing falsely with me, which is sin.
That's
You're
not
dealing-
true. I'm
you're-
telling the truth. I said I've been a lot of places.
Yeah, he learned that from that damn devil, the Amalekite. He learned from the Amalekite. Talk around points, wheeze your way out of things, filibuster until you forget about something. No. Have you been there? Yes or no?
I've been to a lot of places.
Have you been to the secret kingdom of Israel in West Africa?
They
By the
didn't let
mystical
me
river?
inside. They didn't
Huh?
let me inside.
They didn't let you in, but you're an Israelite.
They know.
Excuse me?
They know.
So they denied you from the kingdom, your rightful place.
They didn't deny me. It's like it's not a.
Huh? So who's allowed there? Do you know? You know about it, but you're not allowed in. Oh yeah, it's racism. It's white people there. It's white people. Oh my God, this is absurd. I listen. The cameras are on you. Oh, you don't want to say it on camera? That's what you're telling me? Listen, bro. I just asked, have you been there before? That's all I want to know. Not the location.
I've been to a lot of places. I've been to a lot of places.
You say you haven't been there, so whatever. This is just. Give me Psalm 34 or Jeremiah 34. Is that what I want? 34 and 16. I think that's what I want. Is that it? No. So let me get this real quick. And like I said, we love you, brother. For sure. Like we definitely. I'm learning as I go. I don't agree with a lot, but it's good to dialogue with a fellow Israelite. You're keeping the law. You're keeping the law. Whether you believe it's Sabbath or not, that's not a problem. As long as you keep it in, you're fine. You keep Passover. You keep Tabernacles is coming up for us. What's your tabernacle?
We just had Day of Atonement too.
Yeah, we had Day of Atonement 2 days ago or yesterday. And our tabernacle is next week.
So
You're gonna keep tabernacles, right?
calendar the same as the Shomronim?
Huh?
Is your calendar the same as the Shomronim?
We go off the new moon. That's what we said.
Yeah, we go off.
When was your Passover?
Almost 7 months ago.
Huh?
Almost 7 months ago.
February?
It would
This
have
is
been
August, so January?
Nissan. Like I don't pay attention to Gregorian calendar.
You said 7 months though, so
Yeah,
we
so
still have to
Nissan.
go within what we're used to, but we go off the new moon still.
Yeah, for us, it's Elul right now. So
What is that?
Elul is the month before Tishrei, the month before Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur.
So, yours is.
Oh,
next
okay,
month.
yeah,
Next month
okay.
is- yeah.
So you
Yom
kept it in April
Kippur.
pretty much. You kept Passover in April.
Yeah, honestly, I if you ask
Yeah,
me the
that's
day
what-
of the week,
they're
the
usually
day
a-
of the-
they're usually a month after
date,
us.
the Gregorian date, I would not.
Jewish people used to keep it a month after us,
Yeah,
so we're a month ahead of you technically.
yeah.
So it's not a problem. Read that. So, Ecclesiastes 12 and 12.
Right. Ecclesiastes 12 and 12.
Uh-huh.
And further, by these, my son,
be admonished.
Be admonished, read.
Of making many books.
And you're reading a lot of books. You're internalizing certain doctrines that aren't Tanakh and Torah based. Read.
There is no end.
There's no end to them books. Go ahead.
And much study is weariness of the flesh.
Weariness of the flesh. You're internalizing all these doctrines, these philosophies, these things that aren't Torah and Tanakh based. You're going outside of the book, the holy text, and you're basically going off. You're bugging out right now.
Right.
You're bugging out.
No, I think that there are mechanisms which were passed down from Moses for determining whether something is kosher or not kosher, and our sages, through the process of Nebuah, compiled the Tanakh, which includes
we know for sure holy people about
the books of the
I'm talking about the text outside of it.
yeah, the books of the Tanakh. And then for additional texts, our sages, have wisdom for determining if something's kosher or not kosher. We have wisdom for determining if something's kosher or not
Is
kosher.
it from Hashem?
And if it's from holiness and truly like a holy text, a holy source. But, just because it's not on the level of Nebuah, not on the level of the Tanakh, not on the level of the Torah, but that doesn't mean these other texts are bad, that they're...
Well, this is our second time talking to you, and we can just, well, me personally, I can just tell your understanding is totally off from what we understand, which is like it's not uncommon, but it's just you're not even referencing the actual text we're reading. You're saying, oh, our traditions. Those traditions don't align with the text. And you're running with that over the Torah.
No, we do, in general, our traditions do align with the text. It's very extremely rare that you see things that even seem like they're really a conflict. And so there are some cases where it's very hard to understand what the rabbis are asserting that they're doing. And I don't deny that. But the idea that we don't have rabbis, like rabbis, that's in the Torah, it's in Proselytes Shoftim that Hashem...
Well, you're calling it a different name. I understand that.
Yeah, we call them, they used to be called Shofets. Rabbi is not like rabbi is like a new term.
Exactly, that's what I said earlier.
Yeah, but they used to be called Shofets and they existed in the time of the Torah.
Judges, yeah, I agree.
And
But they taught the Torah. They didn't teach what you're teaching now. They didn't teach, like, obviously there was a diaspora in the exile. We came back with added things from Babylon, which is, we understand that.
so a lot of what the rabbis are doing,
But that's what the rabbis
the
are.
rabbis created basically this suitcase for our civilization in exile. They made all these rules and these systems so that we could preserve our identity over the whole entire exile.
But that didn't happen, though.
Yeah, it did. We're still here.
I mean, you're an Israelite. I don't believe who you're learning from is.
Right.
Those white people are not
but how do you
Israelites.
know
Right.
they're not? They could be half Israelite, half
There is no
convert.
half.
They could be
They're converts aren't Israelites. I'm sorry.
proselytes. Proselytes are a part of the nation.
Proselytes are Israelites that are coming back to the Torah. We already referenced that.
I'm talking about proselytes who are from another nation. They become a part of our nation. They naturalize.
Sir. There's no disputation about people coming to Israel. They have to keep the law. Period. Doesn't
They
mean
do have to keep the law.
That doesn't mean they become Jews. Because we can still treat a non-Israelite a certain way,
Yeah,
but we can't treat Israel.
They are citizens of our nation. They are not
Sir,
non-citizens.
they are not citizens.
They are citizens.
So, you know the Torah, don't you?
Yeah.
So if something dies of itself, can I sell it to you for you to eat? Can I sell it to a convert? Of course I can. Read that. Can I put an Israelite in servitude and buy an Israelite as a slave? Can I buy an Israelite as a slave?
Technically, Israelites can enslave other Israelites, but not permanently. Only the limit.
Well,
there's a-
servitude.
Yeah, there's
Talking
a
about
limit.
non-Israelites.
They can. Yeah, it has to.
25,
It has to be on a 7-year schedule.
Excuse me?
They have to be manumitted after 7 years.
Of course. But we can't treat them like heathens, though.
Right. You have to treat them like princes.
Well, we're talking about heathens. Read.
Leviticus 25 and 35. And if thy brother be waxen poor
Brother, and Israelite, read.
and fallen and decayed with thee,
Uh-huh.
then thou shalt relieve him
Help him out. Go ahead.
Yet though he be a stranger
So our brother can be a stranger, right? An Israelite. Go ahead.
or a sojourner,
A sojourner, somebody that's come from the land to Israel, read.
that he may live with thee.
Uh-huh.
Take thou no usury of him,
No, you can't commit usury against an Israelite, right? Right?
or increase, but fear thy God, that thy brother may live with thee.
Our Israelite friends and family we can't commit usury against them. We can't treat them like dirt. We have to help them, read.
Thou shalt not give him thy money upon usury,
Uh-huh.
nor lend him thy victuals for increase.
Go ahead.
I am the Lord your God, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, to give you the land of Canaan, and to be your God.
Uh-huh.
And if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxen poor, and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bondservant,
You can't treat him like a slave. He's an indentured servant, read.
but as a hired servant.
A hired servant, read on.
And as a sojourner he shall be with thee,
Uh-huh.
and shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee.
The year of Jubilee, 70 years, read on.
And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family,
Uh-huh.
and unto the possession of his fathers shall he return.
Yeah, he's an Israelite. Help him out for 70 years. Get him on his feet. Get his family back. Send him on his way. Read. What else?
For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt.
Uh-huh.
They shall not be sold as bondmen.
Can't sell him as slaves. Read.
Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor,
Can't rule over your brother with rigor. Read.
but shall fear thy God.
Uh-huh.
Both thy bondmen,
Both who?
thy bondmen,
Or slave men
and thy
and
bondmaids,
slave women,
which thou shalt have,
which we can't get. Read.
shall be of the heathen.
Shall be of who?
Of the heathen.
Who are the heathen?
They're talking about non-Jews, non-Israelites.
Exactly. You can have them as slaves. Right? You can't have an Israelite as a slave, though. So they're in Israel being slaves to Israel.
That's what they didn't convert. However,
Where does it show us a non-Jew converted? Where's it at in the Tanakh or Torah?
the primary textual source for conversion is the Megillah, Ruth. So
Ruth?
Ruth, yeah.
That's one person.
That's the primary.
So she
textual
converted.
source.
She was a wife to two Israelites that died, and she married another Israelite. But what happened? What happened to Ruth?
She moved to Israel.
Sir, what happened to her? The story of Ruth. What happened? What is that about overall? Is it about Ruth or is it about the seed of David?
A lot of it has to do with David.
Of course it does. So it's not about Ruth. It's not about her converting. All it's showing is that she was subservient to Obed. Is it Obed? Yeah, Obed. And her baby got taken. Why? If she's a convert, why did her baby get taken? Why, if she's an Israelite, why did her baby get taken and given to Naomi? If she's a convert and an Israelite now, and a Jew or whatever. Why did the baby get taken?
I would not jump to conclusions about
I'm not.
why.
I'm asking you about the text.
Yeah,
Did her baby get taken?
I don't remember.
Give me
her
Ruth
baby
4.
being taken from her.
Ruth 4 and 10. Because this is crazy.
She got the kid back.
This is Ruth.
What? Oh, you're not familiar, but now she got the kid back. Do you know or not?
She did get the kid back.
Where does it say that at? Read that.
This is Ruth
Now you're
4:10.
lying.
Moreover, Ruth the Moabitess.
She's a Moabite. She's not a Jew. If she converted, she'd be called a Jew right here. She's a Moabite. She's a heathen. Read.
The wife of Malone have I purchased to be my wife.
Wait a minute. What? Read.
Have I purchased to be my wife?
Can you buy a wife?
Yeah.
Can you buy an Israelite?
That's how you get a wife. How you acquire a wife.
Can you buy an Israelite wife?
Yeah.
That's not. Wait a minute. What?
Well, it's like it doesn't make sense.
She already had two husbands, though. Can you buy a non-virgin?
Yeah.
I mean, she's a heathen. Of course you can, but can you buy an Israelite non-virgin?
Yeah.
No, you can't. Read.
Gone. To raise up the
Is
name.
dowry for a non-virgin or for a virgin?
Well,
Show me that. So you got to pay for pretty much. Well, that's a virgin. Actually, never mind. So let's log in. I'm gonna edit that out. So basically, you have to pay for some tainted box that's already been penetrated.
I don't know anything about that.
You're saying I have to pay a dowry for a non-virgin. Where's it at in the Torah? So I have to pay a dowry for somebody that already had their virginity taken?
Yeah, you still have to. Yeah, you
Wrong.
still have to
Keep
pay a
reading.
dowry.
That's ridiculous.
To raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance, that the name of the dead be not cut off from among his brethren,
Read.
and from the gate of his place ye are witnesses this day.
Yeah, so this is all Ruth's about. The two sons of Naomi died. They had to get a woman to take on the son of Obed to continue the lineage. That's all Ruth's about. She was just an incubator. That's it. She's not a convert. She's a Moabite. Read. Keep reading the whole thing.
Yeah, that's a whole like.
All we're gonna do is read. We're just gonna keep reading.
Yeah, but going through
What's that?
the textual evidence for conversion, that's like a whole thing.
Sir, I don't. Well, we know there's a verse that people run to, which is in is it Ezra or Nehemiah? That they became Jews. That Nehemiah or Ezra? You know what I'm talking about? But if you read the Hebrew, what's the Hebrew? We're gonna get that in a second. Give me Ezra. Keep reading.
And this is Ruth 4:11. And all the people that were in the gate and the elders said, we are witnesses.
Esther, that's the one.
The
Esther
Lord
8:17.
make the women, the Lord make the
8:17.
woman that is come into thine house, like Rachel and like Leah,
She's like them. Read.
which two did build the house of Israel.
That's all she's doing. She's building the house of David. Read.
And do thou worthily in Ephrathah, and be famous in Bethlehem.
Read.
And let thy house be like the house of Perez, whom Tamar bare unto Judah,
Read.
of the seed which the Lord shall give thee of this young woman. So Boaz took Ruth,
Boaz took Ruth.
and she was his wife. And when he went in unto her, the Lord gave her conception, and she bare a son.
You're a son. Read.
And the woman said unto Naomi, Blessed be the Lord which hath not left thee this day without a kinsman, that his name be famous in Israel.
Exactly. So the Israelite man's name can be famous in Israel. Has nothing to do with Ruth. Read.
And he shall be unto thee a restorer of thy life, and a nourisher of thine old age.
The son. Read.
For thy daughter-in-law, which
My daughter-in-law. Read.
which loveth thee, which is better to thee than 7 sons, hath borne him. And Naomi took the child.
That Naomi took the child, so it's Ruth's son, but Naomi took the son. Why? Is that how you treat Israelites? Can you give me another example of an Israelite baby being taken by another person?
I would need to do some research to
Sure,
find out
sure.
what's
Go
going on.
ahead.
And Naomi took the child and laid it in her bosom,
In her bosom, read.
and became nurse unto it.
So Naomi nursed the son, not Ruth. Because she's a heathen. She's a Jesus thing. Read.
And the women, her neighbors, gave it a name, saying, There is a son born to Naomi.
Who? Wait a minute. Read that again.
There is a son born to Naomi.
Wait a minute. Ruth gave birth to the son. What happened?
That's pretty common that the
No, it's not common.
it's quite
It's
common.
not, sir. It's not common.
Well, it's like if
You don't
women
treat
were-
Israelite women like that. You treat a heathen like that.
Right.
They don't have any rights. Read.
And they called his name Obed. He is the father of Jesse,
Read.
the father of David.
That's how David's lineage was prolonged by Ruth being an incubator to the Naomi's son, or near kinsman.
there's
Ruth
there's
got her
actually a
son
tradition-
taken because she's not an Israelite.
There's actually a tradition that Ruth was not a convert, that Ruth was Israelite. A whole nother.
But he calls her a
I'm gonna
Moabite.
go.
He
I'm
calls her
gonna
a
go.
Moabite. Yeah,
I got Esther real quick.
yeah. Get Esther, because this is what people talk about.
So in Esther,
And I want to get the Hebrew. Actually.
17,
Get the
I
Hebrew.
got the Hebrew too.
Go ahead.
And in every province and in every city, whithersoever the king's commandment and the decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness, a feast and a good day.
Go ahead.
And many of the people of the land became Jews.
They became Jews. Read.
For the fear of the Jews fell upon them.
Yeah. You
So-
familiar with that? You familiar with what happened with Esther?
Yeah, there were converts during the time of Purim.
Sure. Yeah.
So in the Hebrew,
So they became Jews. What's the Hebrew word for Jew
in the
here?
Hebrew right here, when it became Jews, it's mit yachadim, right? And it means basically became Jews, and it's to become a Jew, in fact, or in fraud, or become Judaized.
They got Judaized.
To
What does that mean?
Judaize or to become Jewish.
Yeah.
To become Judaized.
Yeah.
So who are the people of the land though?
You're saying the people of the land.
Who
in
are
Persia?
they? No, who are they? Yeah, Medo-Persians, right?
The Persians, yeah, they're probably a mix of
So are
different-
Persians Jews now, these people?
Already Judaized.
They are
by the fear, because
members
by
of
the
our-
fear of the land of the Jews of the land. Remember the context
Yeah,
right here
they
is
are
saying
members of our nation. And yeah, I mean, like,
So they're Jews. These Persians are Jews.
yeah, they're not Judahites.
They didn't do it out of any type of holiness.
Yeah, so I have.
They did it because they were scared.
Yeah, I have also
Because
wondered-
Esther was the
Yeah.
king's wife.
I have also wondered about if their fear, any
It
way
wasn't
to
genuine.
undermine the
There was no
conversion.
spirit. There was no spirit involved.
That's a great question for a rabbi. It's like if they were
Well,
afraid
we're reading
that
the text.
the conversion
It
were
wasn't
not
genuine. We know that.
Because
Because they would. Because was it Haman tried to get his Jews killed, and Esther married the king, spun the block, changed it up, and they were like, oh man, since we conspired against them, they might do the same thing to us.
and Haman was what?
An Edomite.
Malachite.
Exactly.
The Nagagite, right?
Hagen guy.
Yeah.
And going back to your prior point, that they do still exist even after that one point.
They more than exist. Like, I'm serious. I've been in the
You
topic
learn
for
from
4
it.
years.
Fake white Jewish people. You gonna get it sooner or later. Hopefully you repent from that
So,
badness, brother.
So I think you guys have to consider, like, if you're Israelite, this is how I think about it. Like, I'm coming from a position of privilege and also obligation. Like, my obligation for proselytes and converts in my nation to see to it that they are treated according to the laws of Hashem. The law of Hashem is
not a
that
problem.
the convert must be loved. So,
Must be loved.
yeah, love the convert.
Can you enslave a convert? Because it says you can enslave.
Yeah, for a convert,
non-Israelites.
you have to, it would be indenture like an Israelite. Is what
No,
happens.
that's not what we read. We didn't read that.
Yeah, you're mixing up.
I didn't mix. I read it to you.
Yeah, but there are in ancient Israel, it would have been like it would have been like resident aliens versus like other people who are living in the land
But it calls your brother a stranger too and a sojourner.
versus actual converts who converted and naturalized into Am Yisrael.
Well, like I said, they have no choice but to keep the law. Right?
You're saying what?
While living in the land.
Well,
amongst us.
if a non-Israelite comes to Israel, they have to keep the law. Period. It doesn't mean they converted.
Just like
it
we
means
have
they're
to-
abiding by the rules.
Just like we have to keep the law here in America. By law, we have to keep these people's laws.
Yeah, if you go to Singapore, you can't chew gum there.
Singapore.
That's a law there.
I don't know about San Francisco.
Just
That's what I'm telling you. Though.
Just
If I go to Singapore, I can't chew gum there.
whatever
some
nation
places
you're
are more
at.
like San Francisco. The laws here.
Well, I'm
are,
just making a point. They have no choice. If I go to Singapore, I have no choice. I can't chew gum.
They won't let you chew gum.
Exactly. So if you go to Israel, you have to keep the law. It doesn't mean they're converted. Once I fly out of Singapore, I'm
Well,
gonna go back to chewing my
I mean,
trident.
one thing we're told is that one thing we're told is that like one reason is that Shlomo did not enforce the law on his wives. He let his wives set up idols.
Well, of course. That's what heathens do. They're idolaters. And you referenced Ezra earlier. Did you reference Ezra earlier? How we put away the children? Because I wanted to get that. I heard that. I didn't intervene.
They're non-Jewish wives
Exactly. Heathens. But why they put them away though?
because they're not Jewish.
No, the children. The children. Why they put the children away?
'Cause
The
the kids
children
are
are
not
Israelites,
Jewish.
right?
According to us, no, they would not be.
Wait. Huh?
Because their mothers are not.
Wait a minute.
But that's the reason why I asked you that.
That's why they had to send away the wives.
I
and
know,
the
but the
kids.
reason
Sir,
why,
sir, wait a minute.
The reason why I asked
Oh
you that.
my! He just cut his whole
No, he
argument.
said he says that the Sumerians, the Karaites, and what other group says there's patrilineal?
The Israelites in Pomona.
And Demona, right? So that goes back to the point. Why do we see it in the text that the ancients sent away these heathen mothers and the children?
Because they weren't Jewish.
No, give me that in Ezra.
Ezra would tell us.
Yeah, give me that.
This is Nehemiah 13 and 23. In those days also I saw Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and of Moab. And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod
Read.
and could not speak in the Jews'
They
language,
couldn't speak Hebrew. That's the main reason. Read.
but according to the language of each people. And I contended with them, and cursed them, and smote certain of them, and plucked off their hair.
It doesn't say they weren't Israelites. Of course they're Israelites. The men married the women. It's patrilineally in the Bible. You proved that last week.
And the men was letting the children be raised in the ways of the
Exactly.
mother.
Exactly.
Instead
Read.
of the ways of the father.
And made them swear by God, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons,
Exactly. If you're not speaking Hebrew, you're not keeping our customs, not these heathen customs. Read.
nor take their daughters unto your sons or for yourselves.
Uh-huh.
Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things?
Same thing.
Yeah.
Solomon was in sin
But-
by allowing idolatry.
But the reason they sent away the women and the children is because they weren't Jewish.
No, it doesn't say that here.
Go to
It
Israel.
doesn't say that.
Go to Israel.
It does not say that, sir.
That's what
It says they spoke the heathen language.
But also they were from those other nations.
No,
they
the
spoke that
wives
language,
were.
They were.
You're not who your father is. Then.
Why did they send away the kids? If the kids are
Watch
Israelite,
this.
why didn't they keep
They
them?
made a covenant with the Most High. That they, did it say that there?
No, that was American.
I know what you're talking about. Give me, let me see.
I gotta
And this is
go.
the last
though.
point. This is the last point. I know you gotta go. I know you said that. Let me get this for you. Where is it at? Yeah. Okay, I think it's Ezra.
I think out here was insane.
I think it's Ezra 10.
That's what it says. 3.
Yeah, Ezra 10 and start at 1.
This is Ezra 10. Now when Ezra had prayed, and when he had confessed, weeping and casting himself down before the house of God,
Go ahead.
there assembled unto him out of Israel a very great congregation of men and women and children, for the people wept very sore. And Shechaniah, the son of Jehiel, one of the sons of Elam, answered and said unto Ezra,
Read.
We have trespassed against our God
We sinned against the Most High, read.
and have taken strange
We
wives
took strange wives. Ashdod, Moabites, all that type of stuff. Same thing Solomon did, read.
of the people of the land.
Uh-huh.
Yet now there is hope in Israel concerning this thing.
What happened?
Now therefore, let us make a covenant with our God
That's what they did. They made a covenant with the Most High, read.
to put away all the wives
They promised to the Most High, we're going to put away the wives, read.
and such as are born of them. Of-
And everybody's born to these foreign wives. We made a covenant to do it. They didn't do it because they weren't Israelites. They made a promise to the Most High they were going to do it. That's why they did it. Read.
according to the counsel of my Lord and of those that tremble at the commandments of our God,
If you fear the Most High, do this. So this don't happen again. Read.
and let it be done according to the law.
Let it be according to law, which is what? Numbers, I think it's Numbers 30. Where you make a promise to the Most High. You can't make a vow to the Most High. That's what it's talking about. It's not talking about the not being Israelites. So there it is. Out the text. Yeah, you cut yourself talking about if you have a Jewish mother, you're not a Jew. But wait a minute, the Ashkenazis believe that. Right or wrong? You're a Jew by your mother, right?
That's not just Ashkenazim, it's Ashkenaz.
But that's what you learn from.
And Sephardi also.
So, but that's not the Torah.
Also Yemenites.
So wait a minute. So it switched.
No, we think it switched at Matan Torah. Like when the Torah was given, that's where they went from.
Huh?
matrilineal
This is
to
after the Torah. Wait a minute. What?
No, because in Numbers 1 and 18, that's what?
That's the Torah.
Literally Torah.
Yeah, we say it switched at Matan Torah. So when the Torah was given, it was.
Can you show me
In
that?
Exodus?
Can-
Then
why does Numbers say that? Give me that Numbers.
Numbers is
This is you're not reading the
chronologically
Torah.
after.
You're not going with the Torah. Why are you doing this?
Uh,
Why are you learning from people that don't keep Torah
we
and don't
cite
practice Torah?
Textual evidence for matrilineal.
So is the textual evidence here too?
There's a ton of
Read
textual,
that.
textual
This is
evidence.
Numbers 1 and 18.
So why are you trying to say it's matrilineal?
There's a ton of textual evidence for matrilineality. Like for
So
example,
wait a minute. We just read earlier in 1 Kings 21 or 16 and 21 that Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, had an Ammonite mother and he was the king of Israel. Was he a Jew?
nah,
We're talking about Rehoboam. Was Rehoboam a Jew?
yeah,
But his mom's an Ammonite.
she converted.
You don't know what you're contradicting yourself.
She
So
converted.
so if you're an Ammonite or Moabite and you convert, you're no longer an Ammonite or Moabite.
No,
It's crazy. Read that.
it's like you're leaving
Numbers
one
1 and
nation
18.
and joining another.
No, you're an Ammonite still. We just read that in Ruth. Read.
So you don't believe in conversion at all.
I don't believe you can convert to another nationality. You can convert religiously. Transracial,
So-
I can be a Muslim tomorrow.
So you don't.
I can't not be Dominican tomorrow. That's ridiculous.
So you don't believe in converts.
I believe the converts that it's talking about are Israelites that are converting back to the Torah. They never weren't Israelites.
That's
they
a
just
lot.
weren't
That's a
practicing.
lot of converts, but there's also converts who are not like
We don't see that. Why is Ruth being called a Moabite if she was married to two Israelites before that?
She hadn't converted yet. That's the story.
That's
in
ridiculous.
The book. The story in the book.
It
is her
compares it
conversion.
to not David, Judah's wife, and it compares it to what's the name's wife?
The story in the text is her converting in the text.
No, it doesn't. It's comparing her righteousness to Tamar having Judah and Jacob having his 4 wives and raising up the seed of Israel. Those were Canaanites. So they can't be Israelites. Ruth can't be an Israelite. Read.
Numbers 1 and 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the 2nd month, and they declared their pedigrees
Read.
after their families by the house of their father.
You're an Israelite by your father. Period.
This is after Mount Sinai, Mount
That's
Horeb.
your pedigree, that's your tribe. Like, for example, what tribe you're from, that comes from your father. But being a part of the nation, that comes from your mother. That's what
That
I'm
doesn't
saying.
make sense.
Basically,
So the 12 tribes of Israel are separate from a nation.
no. Basically,
Did you hear what he just said?
your membership in the nation, like if you have
So you're part of the 12 tribes, but you're just not part of the
like if
nation
you
of
have a
Israel.
Zebulunite man who marries a non-Jewish woman, their kid would not be a part of Israel according to us.
So being a part of the 12 tribes, you're not part of Israel.
They would be considered.
That's retarded.
They would be considered what's called SICARII Israel.
What is that?
The seed of Israel. And some people say you should try to get them to convert, get them to
Convert to what?
Judaism. But
What's Judaism? What's the definition of Judaism?
so in this case, like in the ancient times, maybe it would have been different because they would have been living necessarily in the land under the law
Give me,
in the land.
we had a great point. Give me Ruth 4. Or, was that Ruth's 2nd chapter?
Ruth 4.
Yeah, Ruth 4. Let's read up. Give me Deuteronomy 25. This is the last one, because I know we can keep you a little bit longer, but give me Deuteronomy 25 and give me 25 and 9. Ruth 4 and, what's that, top?
Okay, so I'm doing Havdalah in the park tonight.
Yeah, no, you said that.
Yeah.
We're probably going to be here till nightfall.
How do I find you guys when it's not Shabbat? Like, how do people reach you?
You took a flyer last time?
No, I can't take flyer because I'm carrying Shabbat.
So yeah, started like 5.
Con.
And then we're going to go to Torah. Because he said Ruth was a convert, right? So that means she kept Torah. Okay, read.
This is Ruth 4 and 5. Then said Boaz, what day thou buyest the field of the hand of Naomi, thou must buy it also of Ruth the Moabitess.
You got to buy the land and buy Ruth. You can't do that for an Israelite. We just read it. You can't buy an Israelite as a wife or as a slave. Do you believe that? So if she was a convert, that means she wouldn't be a part of this.
No, I don't know about that.
So if you're a convert, you're a Jew. You're an Israelite, right? So you get treated as a Jew. Read.
Con. Then said Boaz, what day thou buyest the field of the hand of Naomi, thou must buy it also of Ruth the
You got to
Moabitess,
buy the land with Ruth because that's an inheritance of the seed you're going to have. Read.
the wife of the dead, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance.
Is that a law? If we're brothers, I died, I have a wife, I have no sons, you have to raise up seed to me, right? You familiar with that?
A Levirate marriage. Un momento.
You familiar with that?
Can you read that again?
Con.
Well, I'm going to reference the law, but this is what's going on in Ruth. Read.
Then said Boaz, what day thou buyest the field of the hand of Naomi, thou must buy it also of Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of the dead.
She's a Moabite. Why isn't she called a Jew? Because she can't be a Jew.
She
Read.
hadn't converted yet.
She was, sir, she was
That might
already
be
married to
one
two
reason.
Israelites.
Yeah, that might be one reason. The other reason is even after some converts convert, like you're
So when did she convert in this chapter
you
or
still
in this
have your
story?
old ethnic background. You still have your old ethnic
So
background.
they're not
it's
Jews.
national.
They're not Jews.
They are not ethnically Jewish, but they are
That's all we're saying.
nationally.
No, they're not
nationalized
nationally
to our
Jews.
nation.
No, they're not. If they're in Israel, hey, that's a Moabite in Israel. That's what's going on here. Right or wrong? You just cut yourself. You can't be a Jew if you're not a Jew. Convert or not. You just disproved your whole argument. Keep reading. We're going to prove it even further. Go ahead.
Verse 6, and the kinsman said, I cannot redeem it for myself, lest I mar my own inheritance. Redeem thou my right to thyself, for I cannot redeem it.
Go ahead.
Now this was the manner in former time in Israel.
This is the law.
Concerning redeeming and concerning changing, for to confirm all things,
Uh-huh.
a man plucked off his shoe
A man plucked off his shoe. Read.
and gave it to his neighbor. And this was a testimony in Israel.
Read.
Therefore the kinsman said unto Boaz, buy it for thee.
Buy it for thee.
So he drew off his shoe.
So he drew off his shoe. Read.
And Boaz said unto the elders and unto all the people, ye are witnesses this day, that I have bought all that was Elimelech's, and all that was Chilions and Malones of the hand of Naomi.
Let's read the law. Give me that. And let's see why she can't be a Jew. Read.
Deuteronomy 25 and 9. Then shall his...
This is, yeah, start up.
Start at where?
Start at 5.
Okay, verse 5. If brethren dwell together, and one of them die and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger. Her husband's brother shall go into her, take her to him to wife.
It's the same thing happened in Ruth. If a brother dies with no sons, and the son can't inherit the land that he has, the brother has to marry that same his wife of the person that died and marry him so the inheritance stays. That's what's going on. Read.
And perform the duty of a husband's brother unto her.
Go ahead.
And it shall be that the firstborn which she beareth shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead.
Exactly. So even though it's my personal son, it's going to represent my brother's line that died. Read.
That his name shall not be put out of Israel.
A levirate.
A levirate marriage.
That's
Exactly. And if the man not take his brother's wife,
If the man doesn't want to do it, read.
then let his brother's wife go.
Wait a minute. Read this slow.
Then let his brother's wife go up to the gate unto the elder
Go ahead.
and say, my husband's brother refused
He don't want to continue his lineage. Read.
to raise up unto his brother a name in Israel.
What's going to happen?
He will not perform the duty of my husband's brother.
Read on.
Then the elders of his city shall call him and speak unto him.
Go ahead.
And if he stand to it and
If
say,
he doesn't want to get down still,
I like not to take her,
I don't want her. I don't want to raise up seed my brother's wife. Read.
then shall his brother's wife
His
come.
brother's wife what?
His brother's wife shall come unto him in the presence of the elders.
Read. This is what Ruth didn't do because she's not an Israelite. Go ahead.
And lose his shoe from
She's
off
supposed to lose
foot.
his shoe, but it says in Ruth that he loses his shoe. She's supposed to do it because she's an Israelite in this context. Ruth didn't do it because she's not an Israelite. Do you get it?
And watch this.
Read.
Lose his shoe from his foot and spit in his face.
She's supposed to lose his shoe and spit in his face because he's supposed to do it. Read.
And shall answer and say, so shall it be done unto the man that is not built up his brother's house.
It's a shame. So read that again real quick. Read that again, because in the Torah, it says she's supposed to do it. If she was an Israelite and a wife of an Israelite as a Jew, or, yeah, this is Ruth, so this is, I see as a judge, but it can be any tribe, but ultimately it's Judah. But go ahead.
This is Ruth 4 and 7. Now this was the manner in former time in Israel, concerning redeeming and concerning changing.
Concerning Deuteronomy 25 and 9, we just read it. Read.
For to confirm all things, a man plucked off his shoe.
A what?
A man plucked off his shoe.
The man plucked off his shoe, but in the Torah it says she's supposed to do it. Why did he do it? Because Ruth's not an Israelite. She's not allowed to go into the congregation or the temple. She's not allowed to do it. Deuteronomy 23 says that. Right or wrong?
I would need to sit down and research
I know. It's okay.
that and examine it in order to
Great. Go ahead.
see both
Get
your
Deuteronomy
argument.
23 real quick, and then you can go. Because you're going against Torah with your understanding. Read 23 and 2. Deuteronomy 23. We just read that Ruth is not a Jew, even though she made it 3 different Israelites. She'll never be considered a Jew.
Right.
She'll never be allowed in the congregation. Read.
Deuteronomy 23. He that is wounded in the stones or hath his privy member cut off shall not enter in the congregation of the Lord.
You can't go to the temple. Read.
A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord.
What's a bastard right here? What's the Hebrew word there?
That
that in the
would
Hebrew.
be
Mamzer.
mamzer.
What does that mean?
Mamzer is a very technical thing.
I'm asking you. Because some people say different things. I want to know what
There's
you.
a lot of different ways that a mamzer could come.
I just want to know what they teach. What is a mamzer to you?
It depends. There's a lot of different ways that a mamzer.
I know that because in the definition it does say a couple different things. But what's a mamzer in this context?
Well, they're saying it means bastard. That's not necessarily.
But what's a bastard? Exactly. What's a bastard?
Bastard is someone.
I mean, the bastard is a translation, but mamzer is a Hebrew.
Yeah.
So what's the Hebrew? What does it mean?
Like illegitimate. They're saying
Illegitimate
bastard.
child.
That's what their bastard means. But
Oh,
mamzer.
no, that's
could
not what it
be-
means here.
Right, mamzer could be from like a child from a forbidden relationship or
Like what?
all sorts.
Incest.
Potentially.
Is that how?
yeah, I don't know
Is that how
the laws
Moab and
of
Ammon were
mamzers.
created?
Yeah.
So that's why they can't enter the congregation. That's why Ruth can never. She couldn't perform that law. Even though she's a wife of Obed,
that's referring to
she
the
can't go
males.
into the temple because she's a Moabite.
That's referring to the males.
Sir,
The women would be going.
Ruth, according to Torah, she's supposed to pluck off his shoe. She didn't do that because she's not an Israelite. She's a Moabite. She can never enter the congregation.
I would need to analyze that text to see what's
Read-
going on.
read
The lever
verse
in-
3.
That's not.
An Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord, even to their 10th generation.
Even to their
That's the
temple.
males.
Bro, it doesn't matter. It doesn't say males here. It says Moabite or Ammonite, period. No matter who they are.
That's what it's referring to.
No, it's not. So why didn't Ruth perform the law?
I would need to sit down and do some
Yeah,
analysis.
because you're not a Jew. That's the point. So you can go on your way, brother. It's not a problem. He's not looking at phones.
Yeah,
Watch
that's
out, watch
referring to
out.
males. That's referring to males.
Watch out. He's not allowed to look at phones, but that's not what the text says. The text says Ammonite or Moabite. It don't say male or female. Period. That's why Ruth can't perform that law. She's not a Jew. She's a Moabite. She's a heathen. And she got treated as such. Her baby got taken because she's not a Jew. Period, brother. I don't know what's so complex about it. We just read it to you.
I'll take a look at it, maybe like Ruth and see. where I
Great,
go
great.
from.
All right, brother.
All right, I'm gonna go take my shower.
Yes, sir. Shalom, brother. You be safe, man. Appreciate your time.